at 6:04 p.m. on May 7th. In attendance is myself, Deborah Atkins, the board president, Tommy Wilson, and also treasurer, Jack Trevelyan, and hang on, I'm gonna call the attorney. Sammy's unable to attend, her kids have ball games. Hey Coy, this is Debbie. We've started our meeting. I just wanted to put you on speaker, okay? Okay. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's all stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You have the minutes and all the financials, and I've got adjustments. Were you able to review them, Colleen?
Yes.
You sent them out, I think on Monday. I have a motion to approve the utility minutes from April 9th. You make that motion?
Yes.
I'll second. Did you have a chance to look at the adjustments that Dan sent out?
Yes.
Did you have any questions about any of them? Any questions I had, I asked for while I was in the office. So do I have a motion to move forward with the billing adjustment? And the council minute meetings from April 9th. I'll second. And then you have the financials.
Yep.
Go ahead and sign that.
Orange water, pink sewer, White's County.
Make a motion to move forward with approving the financials, the claims, the financial report, revenue report. You'll make that motion?
Yes.
I'll second. Okay. First thing is HWC engineering updates.
I really don't have anything. Zach said he's waiting to hear word on the emergency connection.
At Greenville?
Yeah.
Okay, is Jeremy here? No, not yet? Okay, it was signed. And since it was signed, were you all gonna get with HWC about moving forward with doing that connection, or we need to get with Greenville and get a contract?
Need to get a thing built in.
Did you hear that, Coy? Are you still there?
I did, yes, and I've asked Heather, what the status of that is. I've not heard back yet, but it's been a little while since I've asked her, so I will touch base with Heather and see where we're at on that.
Yeah, we got that signed. We were waiting on the easement, and that was signed, I think 2 weeks ago. I gave it to Jeremy. And then, so HWC, once you get an agreement, I guess we'll put it on the next agenda for next month.
Sound good?
Okay. That's the interlocal. Let's read that. And then Pamara water updates. Ryan?
Yeah, get the parts ordered, the valves will drain the tank and go from there. That's really, we're running into a little bit of an issue at the tower, so we've got something asbestos line there. We're finding, not able to find parts, it's 10 inch, but it's OD is all, is wrong, so what, they have to work around on that there, and everything else come along with there. And then on the extension, you said the Greenville line,
Yes, the
so you
connection.
guys, so what did they end up, I haven't heard it.
So
So,
Zach told me he was waiting just to hear word on what to do with it.
so
We-
has
we have-
anybody done any,
No,
okay,
yeah, you are, Zach went out there and he told us what kind of connection we needed. So,
so did Zach go ahead and decide that we got enough water?
yes,
Goes, okay.
yes, there's plenty. There's plenty of water pressure. He said should be no problem to do it,
Water or water pressure?
water pressure
What about the water from the Cinderella?
and water.
And what, okay,
Uh-huh.
I hadn't heard from Zach, so I didn't know.
Yeah, I forwarded Zach's email, I think almost 2 months ago, but we were waiting on the signatures from the landowner for the easement,
Okay.
and because he'd gone to Florida.
So what did Zach decide to do then as far as what kind of pits to put in there?
You're racking my memory now, I'll have to
Okay.
go back, I forwarded,
Okay.
re-forwarded the email whenever the easement got signed. So get with Jeremy, because that's forwarded to you and Jeremy.
I'll look through that, I made the lead email, I didn't see this, so I was curious, I hadn't heard anything.
Well, I'll be in the office all day tomorrow
Okay,
and Monday, so I'll get with me and if you didn't get the email,
okay,
I'll get it to you and we'll get with Zach and talk.
all right, that's all.
And then at Greenville, I think they were gonna, in the agreement, they were gonna pay for the paper to be put in, and then we have to come up with a monthly fee,
Okay,
okay?
okay,
So we'll get together and try to get all that paperwork together for them to get the contract together.
all right,
The other thing that Jeremy had brought me, and that when IDEM came down, was that we needed to have a generator.
Yeah.
And he got me 3 estimates. Did you see the estimates?
yes,
Okay. With your experience, the 3 estimates and the 3 generators, out of the 3 that IDEM said that we needed to have, which one did you recommend? I know there's one that is, the cat was 44,750.
Mhm.
They said it was not an option to get a generator because if the electric goes out, we still have to be able to get people water. The other one was $54,850. And the third one was $61,900. And multiple, I know at least 5 different companies was called.
Mhm.
And this is the only 3 bids that we got. The other things that IDEM had said needed to be done was just paperwork, and I got it to them within
yeah.
days. So that was all done.
They wanted the letter from the town board there.
Yeah.
So with the generators, probably the biggest reason that the cost for one thing is because it's a mobile generator versus being a stationary.
Right,
So that was one thing, there. Having the Cinderella tank and having the Whiskey Run booster station, and then have to be wired also, we have to probably rewire to that, the common plug that would be used. But that's, I'm actually looking at one at Posey Water also. We've done that one for years, but now they're coming down on us too, so this is.
what kind of prices are you finding on those?
I have just started. I have not, I mean, I'm gonna be contacting the same guys because I gave Jeremy 2 of the guys and he found the other one. So
Okay.
I'll be in the same situation. The KVW is gonna be the big thing about, you guys have bigger pumps than I do, so I'll be obviously gonna go with a smaller pump. But the thing is you have to match the size of your, motors
Right,
or the size of the size of your motors with your generator. And that's what makes the biggest difference in what you need.
okay. So, which you met with IDEM, and what was the time frame they gave for the generator?
Well, from what I've seen, like I said, there's no penalties right now, nothing like that. If it's something that you guys want to discuss, I mean, I figure you probably within this year. That's what I plan on doing. If not, I mean, within the next 2 years. I don't think there's anything that has to be immediately right now done. But the one thing is, with the way that you guys are set up, if you guys lose power at Whiskey Run, you will have no water.
Right,
And that is the biggest thing
Do you know of any other, since you're looking for posing,
I can get you, I mean, I know there's Cummins of Louisville, that would be one I use, but they're gonna be, all the prices are gonna be pretty close here. The only thing that you could do different would be put individual generators at each site, but now you're talking about 2 generators.
right,
So we have to see and price it that way there, but then if you put a generator at each site, then you have to have fuel for it. So it's
right,
either put a diesel tank or put a LP tank out there. So by the time you put an LP tank and you do each individual generator, I'm sure you'll be higher than what you're looking at as far as the generator on wheels. But you also, I think about that generator's got to be moved around.
right.
And so, I mean, if that's something you want to table and discuss, we can go ahead and get you prices on that and go that way
Get some more prices.
and get some more prices. And if there's more places you want to contact, there's a lot of people sell generators.
All right,
I would lean towards something that's permanent,
yeah,
so it's a permanent fix.
right.
Not something mobile,
You have to move around. So
but
will you
even if
give
you have to pay more
Jeremy
money.
Yeah,
and try to get me some more?
so you want to do 2 prices on 2 mobile fixed?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that. So do you have a motion to table the generator for right now? And I'll second. And the Midwest meters was the meters that they had brought in for trial. Is that what the Midwest, when they brought their meters?
Yes.
Okay. And it was $5,098.50.
Mhm.
But do I have a motion to approve the Midwest meters, $5,098.50? All right, I'll second it. You want to take that? And then we already went through the generator. Do you have any comments, Coy?
Just a reminder on the generators, as we get those quotes in and everything like that, we are required to accept the lowest responsive bid. So obviously keep in mind, everybody that submits a bid to us, whether or not it meets our specifications, whether or not they comply with any bidding instructions that you give them as you're requesting those bids, whether or not it meets the material requirements of everything that we're going to need for it. And obviously we're allowed to consider, integrity, reputation, competence, experience, all that kind of stuff. But generally speaking, we're going to be required just to accept the lowest bid for anything above $50,000 that meets all of those requirements.
Okay.
Yeah. Question, Coy. We're back dealing with Main Street again. They hit back-to-back mains again, over around Bradford Road. Coy, they hit one last night, we fixed it, they didn't go 20 foot today, and they ran right through another one. Now, Jeremy went ahead, we made them leave, so they're not gonna be here. But this is not in Palmyra town proper. This is gonna be in part of Harrison County. I told Jeremy tonight that we're gonna have to have a discussion, and these 2 bills right now to fix these mains is gonna go to them. Now, I don't know if we can get them to pay them or not, but at a point here, like, this has been a big problem for you guys. And we need to really figure out, you probably need to draft a letter, and we need to send to Main Street.
Can you hear, Can
He was
you,
cutting in and out pretty bad.
Okay.
I said, well, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there tonight, guys.
Explain that to them, Deborah.
Mainstream hit 2 mains last night,
Of course.
The last 2 days.
last 2 days. And they've hit multiple mains and multiple sewer lines. They ended up making, Mainstream leave yesterday today, because
They went 20 feet from the last one they hit.
they hit 120 feet from the last one they hit. So they spent till 11 o'clock last night out there and then had another repair today. So he's saying we need you to draft a letter to them, letting them know, even though when they came in, they said they would take responsibility and pay for any repairs. They're yet to reimburse us for anything.
Yeah, well, one of you guys sent me an email kind of itemizing exactly how much time had to be spent on that, exactly any material costs that we had in repairing that, so that I can put that together. We've had a similar issue over here in Greenville. There's been other issues with another one of those fiber providers here in Floyd County that did similar things. I'll get that out quickly. We've been dealing with their COO here in Greenville, and he's been somewhat responsive, so I can get on that pretty quickly.
Okay. I'll have Temple, send the quote over. I'll have an email to you, Deborah.
Okay,
And you send to Coy, and then we'll just see. But as far as going forward, Coy, is there anything that we can legally do as far as, I mean, I guess the biggest thing is where they're at on the road that they're at. There's plenty of room to go on the other side of the road. We've asked them to go on the other side of the road, they will not. They're running the public right of ways. That's how they're getting, because they're just plowing everything right through. Is there anything that we can do to actually get them off of us?
It's tough to get them to stop, unfortunately. There's been some changes to those regulations that basically the state utility board controls a lot of that stuff now. Because we looked into it over here, because like I said, Heather, who used to be Paul Myers' attorney, is Greenville's attorney. She and I are both the attorneys for one of the HOAs over here in Greenville. And we looked into it, and basically the long and short of it is, if you unnecessarily try to stop them, state utility board can come in and hit you with some pretty hefty fines for getting in their way, as long as they are a licensed provider within the state, which Main Street is. Now, what you can do is you can kind of slow play them and say they have to go one street at a time, that if there's any, if they're hitting things, that they have to make necessary repairs, and then if they continue to screw things up, you can then attempt to put a stop order in, and the utility board will typically be a little bit more lenient with you at that point in time. Floyd County had that with, I believe it was Lumos a year or two ago.
Yes.
They came dangerously close to hitting a gas main and could have caused some really, really significant damage, and they had done several other things, and so Floyd County ultimately issued a stop order in the area of the county where they were working. But that was how Floyd County did it, was they amended the order that allowed them to work and said you have to do one street at a time, you have to confirm that your work is done, you have to mark everything you're doing, and if you hit anything, you have to stop, you have to repair, and you have to do it at your expense. So that would be how we have to do it. Now the question again becomes where they're working at, is it town responsibility or is it county responsibility? So that we know whether or not it's us that can issue the stop work order to them, or whether or not we have to get the county to do it.
where's it at, Ryan?
If you go up here to the central barren, you turn, go past the tank, what's the first road to the right? And then you go to the next road to the left and back to the next road to the right. Sutton Farm Road, I'm bad at these roads,
Nowhere near town limits.
No, it's not.
we're nowhere, we're outside.
So it's in the county.
So it's in town, okay.
No,
It's not in town.
it's not in town.
It's not in town.
No.
That's gonna be a county issue, so we probably need to have a chat with the commissioners. Let me get with, trying to remember who represents the commissioners council. I'll put a feeler out, and, I'll ask Scott, Larry, and them who represents the commissioners council, or who is the council for the commissioners, rather, excuse me. And just say, hey, what exactly, did you guys put any restrictions on them? Is there anything you guys will do?
Yeah, commissioners.
If they're getting water lines, they're causing a lot of disruption.
The county attorney is Chris Burr.
Okay, Chris, all right,
Yeah.
I could remember if it's him or somebody else is taking over that.
All right, so you'll reach out to him?
Yes, I'll reach out to Chris tomorrow.
Okay. All right, anything else with the utility board? Okay, then we'll call the utility board adjourned, make a motion. I'll second at 6:25. And call to order the Palmar Town Board at 6:25. And I know, Larry, you had came to me earlier and said something about you have another meeting to go to for the county. Do you want to go first?
If you're ready for me, I'm ready.
You go ahead.
So I'm Larry Schickel, Superintendent, Harrison County Parks Department. I'm just here to give you an update on the dam inspections that we just got completed. I think the last time I was here was 2024, so we have to give you that update. And
Can I ask you to step up here? Do you care? Since he's on the phone so that, and the owl's up here so the public can see you.
so if you remember in 2024, there were some questions about the inspections on the dam. The insurance carrier was starting to question that they would not extend coverage to the town, and then eventually they didn't want to extend coverage to the county. The last inspection by the DNR had been in 2019, so they had made a request to start addressing that, and so once that got started, we got notified by the DNR that they were looking at upgrading the dam from a significant hazard to a high hazard location. And so that triggered a bunch of things that had to happen, so we had to bring in an engineering firm and have a dam study done. It's kind of weird way you say that, but we had to have a study done on the dam, which we just got completed here a week ago, and it's about 224 pages. When we get the final version, we'll file that with the town as well. So essentially, what did happen and what came out of this, on April 9th, the DNR issued a memo that since the dam had been built, the county had allowed 13 homes and 5 commercial buildings to be built in the floodway or in what's called the inundation area. So because of that, they have reclassified the dam to a high hazard dam. What that simply means is that the way we inspect it and the way we operate it changes. So we have just finished this one. We'll now be required to have an engineering firm reevaluate the dam every 2 years. That also changes the way we do some of the maintenance and stuff on the dam and some of the mitigation measures. One of the important things that we'll have to work with the town on is that because it is considered a high hazard dam and because there are homes and businesses in that floodway that get to reach the dam, then we have to do what's called an IEAP, which will need to involve the town marshal as we start to work with that. An engineering firm will do it, but it's what would we do in the case that we had to do an evacuation, at what point do we determine we have a breach, and at what point do we determine that we have to discharge water. Everything on the dam turned out well. The risk of dam failure is listed as low to medium, and they concluded with the facility has been consistently well maintained. The owners have established an effective and ongoing maintenance and repair program. So over the next several months, we'll do some minor adjustments related to riprap and some of the downstream stuff. But beyond that, there's no major things that we have to do. It will just be continuous maintenance. They'll also be continuous having the engineering monitoring done and then getting this IEP done with the town. And then, like I said, once the DNR sends us back the final draft of this, we'll file this report with you all, town marshal as well, so that you have that information. Because it has all the geo information that tells you where floodwaters would go. We're now waiting on the insurance company to see what their final results are. That's what I have to report on.
And HWC is our engineering company, so if you need any assistance as far as the town.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not a dam expert.
Not you, but I'm sure you have somebody that's a damn.
So we've been, all this week has been the dam report, so. Anyway, but if you have anything else, any questions, if not, just get with me. Like I said, once we get the final report, and once I get ready to do the emergency plan, then we'll get back.
Okay, yeah, get with me about 2 weeks before the meeting so I can put you on the agenda.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Next is powwow.
Yes.
Joe Leonard, I'm here on behalf of Powwow, asking for permission to use the park for the Powwow Festival, September 25th and 26th.
26. Larry, was the weekend for powwow 25th and 26th, or it was just on the contract with the town, it was just a weekend in September,
The
right?
weekend they do on Tuesdays.
Okay,
You're talking about when you transfer the property.
yeah, when we transferred the property, I know we asked for a weekend in September for powwow every year, but it
It's
was,
whatever weekend you,
okay,
you just have to request it, and then we'll get it back.
okay, all right. When I wasn't at the board meeting where the town agreed to sign. I had a family member that was sick that passed away. But they did, the other two board members that were here agreed to pass it on, pass it back to the park because of the price of the insurance for the dam. In that agreement, when I discussed it with them, I asked for that weekend for powwow. The town has no problem with you all using that weekend. That's why we asked for it. That's why I asked that it be put in the contract. There's not an issue with that. The only issue that there might be is, I think normally you all use the back gate for an entrance, and right now there's pending litigation over blocking that street. So you might have to get with the Parks Department about letting the vendors in and out without blocking the street.
Okay.
So that would be something, I don't know if they would let everybody in early on Friday. I don't know what they would do, but we can't agree to let that street be blocked since the town's, actually, I received notice today that the town's been
The
sued.
street's not blocked.
It's not blocked.
It just uses an entrance,
We don't,
And
we don't
exit.
block
It's not blocked.
So the public can go in and out that back gate at all times?
Well, usually it's just the vendors.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. We can't agree to let that street be blocked.
It's never.
I know,
Before they have police officer back there.
Right.
And
I know, and that's why
then they would also.
you came in and talked to, Richard.
it. Yeah.
You came in and talked to the town marshal, and he's gonna start attending the meeting.
The next meeting. Yes.
But Coy, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right. What's your feeling on the legality of that street being blocked for that weekend with pending litigation?
So generally speaking, the rule in Indiana is that as long as it is a temporary inconvenience, it's going to be fine. There could be, a small potential nuisance claim made there, but as a general rule, Indiana courts look to see whether or not, is there an existing roadway right of way or easement, which my understanding is we do have that there on the roadway. And that, what is the overall impact to the adjoining property owner if the adjoining property owner mostly has access to their property, isn't terribly inconvenienced, and whatever inconvenience there is short-term in duration. Generally speaking, the law says that that's just kind of a temporary inconvenience. It's not usually going to be compensable. There's not usually going to be a legal claim there, as opposed to something that's going to become more where you're completely blocking access to somebody's private property.
Right.
It lasts for a really substantial period of time. It isolates the property from emergency services, things like that. So as long as it's something where private property owners have access to their property in some way, it's not completely kind of creating an island on them or something like that, and it's going to be cleared relatively quickly. Indiana law typically says that's permissible.
Okay,
So it's got to rise to the level typically of what's called substantial interference.
okay, all right. What was that? Oh, it's actually a road, and whenever I checked with HWC, they said that that's actually, the length of that road is, or the width of the road is 40 feet with the easement. So that's plenty of room for the vendors to go in and out, as long as nobody throws a fit about it, just not, the public not being allowed to enter and exit off of that street. I don't see it as an issue. Do you?
I agree, yeah, and I think that should be feasible there. And again, as long as it's being respectful to the adjoining private property there, and they're not, pulling off the side of that 40 feet and trying to, park in the private property and things like that.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to move forward with allowing the weekend of September 25th and 26th for powwow on the town's behalf.
Very good.
Do you make that motion?
Yep.
And I'll second it.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank
We'll
you.
be there. All All right, next. Boys and Girls Club.
So the only thing I have, Julie Morgan, with the Harrison County Community Foundation, is we're working on getting the signatures on the restated and amended petition for annexation, so we'll keep Jack posted. And, just that the progress continues, Leslie is here tonight with Shire Construction Management. We've got the steel framework erected, the roofing is on there, next will be insulation, I know you all have seen it, being built, and it's a work in progress, so we're really excited about it, but everything's, we've had nothing but some good weather, so it's coming along.
Yeah, I seen them working out there on the weekends
That's right, just
to try to move forward.
Yeah,
It's looking good.
yeah, after hours, so thanks everybody for the support of the project.
Reach out before, it is the Wednesday before the meeting if it falls on Tuesday. And it's the Wednesday before the meeting if it falls on Thursday, or two Wednesdays
What are you talking about, the?
for a hearing.
Oh, yeah, once we
Okay.
get it in, then I know there's like some state rules as far as when y'all can get posted and how much notice that is, so once we get it turned in, I'm sure Jack knows what those rules are, Coy can explain them,
Yeah.
so that we get all those
Hearings.
benchmarks, hearings, all that stuff, yes, ma'am.
I just had somebody call me today to ask to be added to the agenda, so I'm trying to tell everybody,
Oh, to get on the agenda.
yeah, because I have to give it to the
I got
newspaper. I have to give them notice of the
Really,
agenda.
thanks everybody for all your support, we're really excited about the project, so thank you.
And then I had Green Street and Murphy Homes. Did everything move forward with that, Wyman?
They're having another meeting tonight.
Are they?
Something where Larry was headed to that.
Oh, okay,
I did inform them in the last meeting I was at to get in touch with you guys as a follow-up.
okay.
My understanding at this point has been, tonight, then they have another one in June. I call it a hoop, they're jumping through. They kind of agreed to extend the actual purchase until those hoops were, but we're hoping to close the signing in June.
And it's gonna be 4 houses,
They're shooting for 5.
all right?
The last meeting I attended, they, had applied for a variance of 45 feet, I think, and they requested less footage, which was a plus on their behalf. But,
A variance on what? On the alleyway?
no, on one of the properties, the property that runs in front of Miss Myers' house,
Oh, okay,
that is my understanding that they basically gave that to her to eliminate any kind of conflict. But the issue, and they should have followed up with you guys already, they're supposed to get with the emergency, fire, anyone in regards to the alleyway for emergency vehicles to enter. So they're supposed to follow up.
okay,
They still have a right of way on the main highway
right.
that they can utilize, but I don't know what their intentions are.
Well, I'll wait for their phone call back again.
And I met with their representative at the last meeting, and I did encourage that they need to follow up with the town on that issue, and I did tell them straight up, you don't have the right of way of emergency vehicle getting up that alley.
All right, well, I'll wait on them to give me a call, and hopefully they'll bring some drawings and we'll be able to figure it out. Okay. Coy, the next thing is the purchase agreement for Josh Kepley's property. On
And I will work on getting that drafted, and sent around for you guys to review, and over to Mr. Kepley to see if everybody's got any, feedback for us. Once Mr. Kepley, gets back to me then and lets me know if it's amenable to him, we'll have the board approve it, have him approve it, and move forward with that.
Okay. Next was public safety and Mary Knight. I got a message from her today that she wanted to be taken off the agenda, that she was working on some of the issues with the Harrison County Sheriff's Office. So I'm not sure what those issues were, but we'll take her out. Next, police comments. Do you have any comments? Nope. Attorney comments, Coy, for the town?
So, just because it was referenced, we did get a notice of tort claim. Generally speaking, my policy for anybody that I represent is I'm not gonna comment on potential litigation. We will, address that in due time and due course. We'll see what happens with that. Beyond that, look forward to being back with you guys next month. Again, apologies that I couldn't be there in person tonight, but in booking a few things, I got double booked tonight. If anybody in the town needs anything from me, just get with Debbie. She can get you my email address, but I think we should be mostly kind of caught up where we need to get caught up other than the purchase agreement and, last minute review of the ordinances so I can get those published for everybody.
Yeah, and
And
then,
then the online code of ordinances that I discussed with you guys, last time I was there.
yep, and then get with Heather on the Greenville connection.
Yes, and I actually just texted her, just a couple minutes ago on that.
Okay, all right. There's nothing else on the agenda. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
And I'll second that, and this meeting is adjourned at 6:40 PM. I'll talk to you later.